Timmy, Mr. Wiggles, and the Great Joke-Off. On a bright Saturday morning, Timmy was sprawled out on the living room carpet, a wide grin plastered on his face as he engaged in his favorite pastime, a joke-telling contest with Mr. Wiggles, his talking orange dinosaur. Mr. Wiggles, with his comically deep voice and quirky sense of humor, was in top form today. "Hey, Mr. Wiggles," Timmy giggled. "Tell me a joke." Mr. Wiggles cleared his throat dramatically and said, "Why did the dinosaur bring a pencil to bed?" Timmy squinted, trying to guess. "I don't know why. Because he wanted to draw his dreams." Mr. Wiggles roared with laughter, his sound effects making the joke even funnier. Timmy burst into giggles, clutching Mr. Wiggles. "That's so silly." "Okay, my turn. Why did the teddy bear say no to dessert?" Mr. Wiggles looked intrigued. "Why?" "Because he was already stuffed." Timmy replied, and the two of them laughed together, the room echoing with their shared amusement. As they continued their joke-telling spree, Timmy's mom, Mrs. Carter, walked into the room. She couldn't help but smile at the sight of her son and his toy in such high spirits. After a few moments, she decided it was the perfect time to have a little chat about the importance of play. "Hey, Timmy," Mrs. Carter said, sitting down beside her son, "I couldn't help but overhear your joke contest. Mr. Wiggles is quite the comedian." Timmy looked up, still giggling. "He is. Do you want to hear another joke, Mom?" Mrs. Carter laughed. "I'd love to. But before you start, I want to tell you something important about why playing with toys, especially ones like Mr. Wiggles, is so special." Timmy tilted his head, curiosity piqued. "Oh, what's so special about it?" "Well," Mrs. Carter began, "when you play with toys, especially ones that talk or make you laugh, you're not just having fun. You're actually learning and growing in some really cool ways." Timmy's eyes widened. "Learning? But we're just telling jokes." "Exactly," Mrs. Carter said, nodding. "When you're playing with Mr. Wiggles, you're using your imagination to create stories and scenarios. This helps you think creatively and come up with new ideas. It's like giving your brain a workout while you're having fun." Mr. Wiggles, sensing his cue, chimed in with a dramatic voice. "That's right, Timmy. And did you know that telling jokes and laughing helps you learn about emotions and social skills?" Timmy looked surprised. "Really? How?" "Well," Mrs. Carter explained, "when you tell jokes, you're practicing how to express yourself and make others laugh. It's a way of communicating that helps you understand different feelings and connect with people." Mr. Wiggles added, "And let's not forget problem solving. When you're figuring out the punchline of a joke, you're actually solving a little puzzle. Plus, when you and I come up with jokes together, we're practicing teamwork." Timmy's face lit up with understanding. "So, playing with toys helps me learn how to be creative and work with others?" "Exactly," Mrs. Carter said. "And there's more. When you're playing with toys, you're also learning how to share and be patient. For example, you might have to take turns with your toys or share them with friends." Timmy nodded, absorbing the information. "That makes sense. So, it's not just about having fun, but also about getting better at all these important things." Mrs. Carter smiled and gave Timmy a hug. "That's right. And the best part is, you don't even realize you're learning because you're too busy having a great time." Mr. Wiggles, ever the entertainer, roared, "And don't forget the most important lesson of all, never underestimate the power of a good laugh." Timmy giggled and gave Mr. Wiggles a squeeze. "Thanks, Mr. Wiggles. And thank you, Mom, for telling me all this." Mrs. Carter looked around at the mess of toys scattered across the room, each one a part of Timmy's imaginative world. "You're welcome, sweetie. I'm so glad you have Mr. Wiggles and all your toys to help you learn and grow. And who knows? Maybe one day you'll be telling jokes to help others feel better, just like Mr. Wiggles does for you." Timmy's eyes sparkled with excitement. "That sounds awesome. I can't wait to come up with even more jokes and adventures." With that, Timmy and Mr. Wiggles dove back into their joke-telling contest. The room was filled with laughter as Timmy tried out new jokes and Mr. Wiggles responded with his signature roars and sound effects. As Mrs. Carter watched her son and his toy in action, she felt a deep sense of satisfaction. She knew that these moments of play, filled with creativity and joy, were more than just fun. They were essential building blocks for Timmy's growth and development. In the midst of jokes and laughter, Timmy was learning important life skills, all while having the time of his life. And as the afternoon sun streamed through the windows, Mrs. Carter knew that each shared giggle and playful moment was a testament to the magic of childhood and the incredible power of imagination.